Hey guys, this is Mr. King Chris. Welcome to Risky Impact Podcast. I am joined today by my co-host.
Chief, what's happening?
What's good? What's good? Listen, man, we've been going for a minute, okay?
It has been.
And we can explain. All right. Listen, we're trying to be for real with this podcast stuff, and we just want to make sure everything is right and not forced, right? So we have a schedule. We can give you guys an exact day that you'll be getting podcasts. And this is going to be, we're trying this system out for the next month or a couple weeks or so, however long. And then you guys probably going to get hopefully daily episodes. We'll see how that goes. But right now you can expect us every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, giving you some special topics, special themes. Monday is going to be extra special because I'm probably going to enjoy it a lot,
Absolutely. It's going to be a definite treat.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute treat.
If you guys don't got anything in your hands right now, go ahead and grab yourself a drink. Need a spliff, go ahead and grab yourself that spliff. This is the Risky Impact Podcast, and we do condone all of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever you need, it's that time.
Exactly. Listen, today's Sunday, so we don't really have a big set theme for you. We just wanted to go ahead and throw something out. So, we're going to be talking a little bit about a couple things that's going on. First off, on Saturdays, did we actually? I even forgot what we have planned for Saturday. What did I say it was again?
Saturdays is we're just going to be catching up on the week.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing our impact talks, which is basically either some day-to-day topics or just something that one of you all may have brought up. But yeah, it's just impact talks.
For sure. Sundays are going to be, it's going to be a mixture of things. We really want to do a couple of sport things for Sunday for all my sport heads out there.
Absolutely.
I do have topics that people did want me to talk about, but we'll probably get to it next week. Starting the week off fresh. Mondays are going to be our Murder Mondays. You guys like hearing about murders and, just sit there. You can vibe out with whatever you got and just listen to the stories that we have to tell. At the end of each story, we'll probably go in and, discuss it a little bit, see how those type of things could have been avoided or how mental people are nowadays,
Yeah, absolutely.
But when I'm talking mental, right now, there's a lot of mental things going on. And, there's a large thing going on. It's happened for a few weeks. Well, how long has it been? Has it been like a month yet?
About.
Okay, so we can say about a month now. That the court has decided in the Wade versus Rocade case of abortion. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, Roe versus Wade, of course, we know that was the Supreme Court decision that basically legalized abortion. And it has been challenged before, and it got partially overturned. And that was with Casey. Hold on, give me a second. I do got that. Planned Parenthood versus Casey, partially overturned. And then, of course, with this latest case, it has been completely overturned. And so Of course, we've been seeing very, 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 very upset people in reference to the decision from the Supreme Court.
Mhm.
Then we've seen a lot of other people who are celebrating it.
Yeah.
Um, Now, whichever side you are on that, we are not telling you're right or wrong, just expressing our opinions on it. So, just
Mhm.
from a standpoint of are you for it or are you against it, where you on where you sit with that,
So, first off, let's just say that Roe versus Wade was supposed to be something safe for a lot of women out there, right?
right?
They were supposed to have legal actions when it came to abortion. Just just in certain circumstances, they needed an abortion. They
Hmm.
had something that they can go to and be like, okay, this is the only choice I have. Now
Right.
we're down to a choice that there's only one choice. There's literally only one choice nowadays because of this. Now I'm not saying every state has adopted it just yet, but this was from the leaked. This was leaked, so this shouldn't have been a surprise to a lot of people. This was already leaked, where people found out that the decision was going to banning abortion.
Hmm.
So while I am definitely against the decision, I felt like people should have fought a little bit harder when the leak happened, or maybe when most of this was going on. It wasn't
But
such of an
what do you
uproar.
mean fight a little harder?
So right now we have more angry protesters, of course, because of the decision, based on just the fact that it was denied and everything like that. So now you can't get abortion. So now you see
Hmm.
a lot more people outside the courthouses and everything talking about, you know, abortion, Roe versus Wade. This is disgusting. This is shocking and shit like that. And it's like it's
Hmm.
not a complete shock though. We knew this was gonna happen. You know, does that make it better? Of course not. But we just knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, so hmm. So are you for abortion or against abortion?
So it depends on the situation, because I'm not going to take away somebody from getting an abortion. If you got an abortion, that's on you. I really don't care either way. You know what I'm saying? I can't be for it 100%, and at the same time, I'm okay with it with the right situation.
Okay. I mean, yeah. With me, I mean, I'm happy that it was overturned because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, personally,
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in abortion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe in there truly being a situation where abortion truly is the
Mm-hmm.
absolute solution. Now, certain circumstances, of course,
Mm-hmm.
incest, whether underage pregnancies,
Rape.
absolutely okay. Well, even with that, I wouldn't say that okay. I wouldn't make them keep the child, of
Mm-hmm.
course, but that's no reason to terminate a baby. Like it's
Mm,
truly. I
I
mean,
object.
that respectfully so. Um, Absolutely. But I don't believe in. Well, when do you see it? Like, do you believe murder should be legal?
Do I believe murder should be legal?
Yes.
Nah, this depends. This has like a whole bunch of ins and outs to it now. Uh, Murder under the right jurisdiction,
Right.
yes, but not just like some crazy person down the street just shooting off a gun or something like that.
Okay.
So
So
it depends.
what would be that perfect situation where murder would be legal?
Self defense.
Self defense.
Hmm.
Okay. Now,
Now,
when it comes
hold on
to
before you go. Okay,
uh
that part right there is still there's still a lining where not every self defense act has to lead to murder.
right.
like this one case my brother brought up to me. It just happened, where the bodega owner was arguing with
Yes.
the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there, the boy, she went outside, got her boyfriend. He came in. Now he didn't really deserve to get stabbed, but at the same time, he did cross that desk. You don't go
Yes.
around to just fight with someone. It's for what reason though? You feel me? You guys were
Mm-hmm.
arguing. That's arguing. He didn't raise a weapon at you. He didn't come around his bodega to fight you or nothing like that. Like, you were in the wrong.
Yeah.
You feel me? So she's standing there like, but why did he have to die? Well, because he crossed a line he shouldn't have crossed. Now I feel a little threatened because you came behind the counter and you're not an employee. Now I know you're looking to hurt me in some type of way. So in those certain instances, I understand why he stabbed him, but at the same time, I don't think he should have. I mean, it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't going to lead to no bloody escalation, but I can't say that for sure.
Right.
Can't say that for sure. He had to do what he had to do
Right.
to survive. You know?
Right. Um. No. No. No.
Hmm.
I mean, abortion is just. I believe life
Hmm.
starts at conception. So
Hmm. It does.
yeah. So I mean, you're no matter when you decide to terminate, you're still
Hmm.
killing a baby at the end of the day, and I
Understood.
can't. I can't stand by that. Yeah.
Now I'll bring it up into two ways. I just wanted to know what your response is for these two things.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the first one, right?
Right.
Now, abortion, like, all right, say if somebody's pregnant, they conceived with a guy that they were with and everything like that, and now they're thinking about getting an abortion. Now, I don't think they should have an abortion. Now, I think they should be, um, they should be denied any type of abortion rights,
Mm-hmm.
because they did it without a condom. That's your fault.
Okay.
Now you have to live up to those expectations of being parents and shit like that, right? At the
Right.
same time, now, right, if they
Mm-hmm.
do go through with having the baby, right, but
Right.
then they decide they still don't want the baby, there's two
Mm-hmm.
options. There's two
Right.
options, right?
Right.
Now they can give it to family members. Some family members will be like, no, this is
Yeah.
blood.
Not always the option, but is an option.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Your blood. Let's I'll raise the baby if you don't want to raise the baby. We don't even have to tell the baby that you're its mother. I'll raise the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Right.
mothers will step up, or an aunt or something like that will step up and
Mm-hmm.
be disgusted with you and the way you're thinking about that abortion, or
Right.
just giving up the child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a second option we all know and sometimes hate is adoption, right?
Right.
Now, adoption kind of saves a lot of children here and there, and then it also traumatizes a lot of children here and there, right? Um, see, I don't knock any adoption sets that actually take care of the kids. Okay,
Uh,
I don't
Okay.
I don't knock any wife or husband that actually sit there and take care of the foster kids until they get adopted. That's cool,
Right.
but there is too much cases, way too much cases of
Mm-hmm.
just the kids being abused or just running away because they don't like the situation, or just being traumatized in some way by other kids touching around or just bullying, a lot of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some women who, and I'm saying some, I don't know how much there are. There's probably a few, just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still big out there. If you're thinking about it, you're going through all the stops. Like, hey, do I want to have this baby? What can I provide this baby? Okay, if I can't provide this baby anything, do I put it in adoption? But if I put it in adoption, this baby might have a bad life because of the system not being too fair here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just a lot of things that go in. I just want to know, like, what do you think about foster care system and how they really like treat the kids sometimes? Let's go really in depth on this.
I mean, me personally, I was never a foster child, but I
Hmm.
was given up to the state.
Hmm.
So I was fortunate enough to be adopted by someone who, like, well, I mean, Yeah, I mean, I can truly say that. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be adopted by someone who truly does love me,
Yeah.
who did love me, does love me.
Hmm.
Yeah, continues. Like I had that support system. Like I was truly part of the family.
Yeah.
Still do. Um, some of my greatest friends from South Florida, um, they were foster children,
Hmm.
and man, they got some stories that just like, yeah, yeah, shit. It truly gets crazy out there.
Hmm.
But there are some where, if I would say the best thing is it's to get to help the caseworkers because it's not always that um the children are stuck in those situations.
Hmm.
The case managers are just really just worn like just overburdened to the point where um trying to see every child just really becomes almost an impossible task.
Hmm.
um but there are some parents out there that are truly just pieces of shit and just
Yeah.
really, I don't know how they actually got into the system, but they truly need to. Yeah.
Well, one way we don't know how they got into the system, but we do know the reason behind it is because the state does fund them with money. So I know a
What?
lot of shitty couples do that.
Yes, yes. But I mean, there are stipulations to those checks. It's not
True.
just you get the child and then you get the money.
Yeah.
Um, but I can say that yes, there are a lot of check chasers out there who do the absolute bare minimum just to
Hmm.
get those checks.
Hmm.
But as far as it relating back to abortion,
Hmm.
for the children that are in the system currently, there are ways to find them good homes. It's just the adoption system itself. You have to go through so much to be able to adopt that a
Hmm.
lot of people aren't able or don't have the time or expenditures to actually go through that process.
Yeah.
Um, but for the babies coming in now, especially with this whole rise of uh, well, it's risky impact. This openly gay scene now,
Hmm.
like they want to adopt, they want to have children.
Hmm.
Okay, there we go. Problem solved. All the babies that don't want to be kept, we can give them to them.
Hmm.
No charge. Choose the one you wish and take care of it.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So let me backtrack on that just a little bit.
Right.
So the for the ones that of course you said the agency is the one lacking,
Hmm.
and I do agree with that as well,
Right.
because if they were on their shit, there would be more kids actually being moved out the foster homes and into a real loving caring home.
Right.
There's this one story that that came out last year. It's from Florida right here as
Hmm.
well. It the title is "Flooded Foster Kids. Florida Failed to Find Safe Homes." Right.
Hmm.
Um, that's one of the main problems I have as well. Like, we can note every other problem that I said about the foster care system is a big problem, but if we want to call them small, yeah, the big problem is it being flooded, right? there's
Right.
there's a lack of space for really these children that these parents don't want. And it's not only the children the parents don't want. We can go ahead and talk about abused kids that these I guess we'll say welfare investigators are
Hmm.
going to seize to put them in foster care so they can have a better life, right?
Right.
Florida lawmakers made a new law about parents abusing their children. So they put
Hmm.
millions of dollars into this new approach that they're taking to
Right.
seize children from those type of parents, right?
Right.
But at the same time, what Florida is dealing with right now is an overflow of those foster care systems. So I feel like if people are looking to give up their child,
Hmm.
right? while they're pregnant. We're just talking about the ones that are pregnant. If they're
Right.
looking to give up their child while they're pregnant, I don't feel like it's a good time to be having any type of kids, to be honest. I just don't feel like it's a good time. Like if you have a kid and you're one of those parents that just says, "Okay, I want to, take care of my kid," then yeah, of course, you're going to take
Uh-huh.
care of the kid. Whatever you do, the kid feeds off of, right?
Right.
But once you give that kid up, that's a different ball game. Different
Uh,
ball
uh,
game.
definitely. I definitely agree. Um, but on the same hand, I mean, not playing the devil's advocate, but definitely
Hmm.
playing the devil's advocate. This comes down to who are y'all putting into these government seats?
True.
Because I mean, literally, it comes down to a vote. And if you get out and actually put some people who are actually willing to put in that work and actually
Hmm.
make a difference out here, instead of the ones who just want to blow up your ear with everything that they think you want to hear, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we could potentially see a change in that. Um, Now, I'm not versed on Florida's adoption system, so I can't absolutely speak to that.
Yeah.
But I can definitely say that their entire systems can't truly be judged by singled out events.
Hmm.
Only because I mean it's well, I mean just automatically it's not um, giving it a fair assessment,
Yeah.
and also just like happenstance is happenstance, and sometimes
Hmm.
there are things that truly we can't help. But I mean, there are options that can be utilized, but just aren't, uh, I guess, legal in the
Yeah.
current sense. Well, as of the current day.
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Off the top of that too, we do know lawmakers are making it very hard for people who want to do abortion, right?
Right.
Now, again, the next step is foster care. So, okay, we don't have abortion no more. Okay, I'm gonna have the child, but I can't raise it. So, another thing I've been I read up on
Hmm.
is again the lack of space, but also it's the you said it was the caseworkers' faults as well, which I agree on, and that's one of the main problems as well. Hear me out.
Hmm.
The welfare leaders, right? They did not hire more
This is just for
caseworkers.
Florida.
Yeah, this is just from Florida.
Okay,
They
gotcha.
did not hire more caseworkers. What they actually did was
Right.
pay the foster families more money to make more homes available. So what that did was lower the amount of access to like drug treatments, healthcare, services that the
Hmm.
actual kids needed to cope with being in the foster care system. So instead of the Florida's child welfare leaders looking for to hire more caseworkers to handle these kids more individually, they were like, you know
Well,
what,
I
just pay
can't
the
speak
money.
to that part.
Hmm.
There later on in life, I believe it's either once they hit the age of 15 or 18,
Hmm.
that money that they were sending to the parents, that
Uh-huh.
then gets allocated to they get incentivized with between 1,500 and I believe either 1,700 or $2,000 a month
Yeah.
to either go to school or just to be working. As
Yeah.
long as you're doing one of the two, you receive that stipend every month. And that's just for you to get back on your feet. So, though they're not giving that money to the kids right now, it is for the parents to make that decisions to actually utilize the money in the proper way.
But not all
So, I
these kids know that though.
wait, say
That's one
again.
of the problems. Not all these kids know that though.
Yes, they don't know it now, but they will know it once they hit of age, because their caseworker is gonna have to legally go over that with them.
They are. But you know what's the problem? It's still leaving them in the blind. Even if they know they're going to get that money to go to school or go work and stuff like that, it's still kind of leaving them in the blind because their childhood it wasn't taught properly at that point, right?
But I mean, what are you leaving them in the blind about?
So, okay, if I was a foster kid, right?
Hmm.
And I turned, you said it was 15, right?
Right.
I turned 15. The caseworkers talked to me about the money and everything like that.
Right.
Now I can go work or go to school. The thing is, and I'm just running off of my numbers in my head. If
Right.
I'm a child at 15, I ain't going to work.
I think it's 18. I think it's between 18 and 21. I want to reverse that. I think it's
Okay.
between 18 and 21.
Okay. If 18, 21, that's better.
Yeah,
That's a lot
because
better.
I'm thinking that because I think he was 21 when it actually when I
Mhm.
met him. So yeah.
In that case, then it's a little better. I can dig that. I don't know. I'm just torn between the whole foster care system. It's very hard for me to feel like all these kids are being taken care of properly.
Well, I mean, of course, not all of them are,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's just it's a fact of life. And
Hmm.
by us preventing children from going into foster care isn't going to make the situation any better. Because in a way,
But it could help the numbers.
not really, because I mean, think about it. That makes that parent ineligible to actually get children again. So not only do you have to find homes for those children in that foster home, but now any children that were going to be put in that foster home, now you have to find another home for them also.
But
So
see,
it's only going to create a
I'm
bigger
only talking about
battle.
the parent who was actually carrying the child, right? I'm saying that part of the, because we're tying this all into abortion again. So
Right.
just the parent carrying the child, it doesn't matter what they do in that sense. The child is off their hand regardless. So it's still up to the state. If the child is born, it's up to the state to determine what they do with that child at that point, which of course is just going to be foster care. But at the same time, the numbers could be reduced drastically if they were able to abort them kids. Just saying. I didn't say it was right. Didn't say it was right. I'm just saying I don't think we should have more kids in the foster care system because no one's doing their work properly. And until they do their work properly, we're not gonna get rid of the main problem at hand. And that's the increased
Well,
number of kids.
let's not excuse me, sorry.
Let's use some
Uh
condoms.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay. Instead of legalizing abortion,
Uh-huh.
let's have better sex education. Let's go back to our roots and start actually promoting values.
We're talking about
Um,
Florida here, though.
yeah, yeah.
Whew.
I mean,
First time I came down to Florida, somebody was pregnant.
yeah, yeah, without a doubt. Like,
I was
but it
like,
still
"Holy
comes down
shit,
to
girl! We in high
the
school. What are you
household.
doing?" It
What are
does.
you actually promoting in your household?
And see, it go that right there too. If we're talking, like, I don't want to bring race in, but if we're talking to black people, a lot of black people like to say, "Don't tell me how to raise my kids." That boom. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one. That's number one. So right there, instead of listening to the advice that people have successfully raising kids, you know, there's a lot of people out there that's like, listen, this is my damn child. If I want him to curse, he can curse. You know, stuff like that makes it hard for this world to thrive.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are at an absolute crossroads in our society.
Mm,
Um, the America that we used to be, we no longer are, and it kind of well, it ain't kind of, it's absolutely heartbreaking.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I've never seen this many people just so shamed to say that they're an American. Like,
true,
damn,
true.
we were
I've
proud
heard,
Americans. I'm a proud fucking American. I
yeah.
love this country. Like shit, wouldn't trade it for nothing. But
Hey, the U.S. is fun. Let's just say that.
hey, the U.S. is the shit. Absolutely. And we may not have everything together, but god dang it, look at all the options you have and tell me that
Exactly,
this ain't the best place. Like,
exactly.
nah.
If I go somewhere else, I got to learn their language. I don't think I want to do that right now.
You got to learn their language. You got to learn their laws. You got to learn
Yep,
just everything. But
exactly.
even just minus learning that, you're not going to experience the freedoms that you have here.
True.
and not even just all the personal freedoms, but just the absolute the implied and applied freedoms that you
And,
actually experience through the Constitution.
and it's never gonna be home.
Ever. Well,
Never gonna be
I
home.
mean, never gonna be. Well, I mean, it may not be your home, but it's home for me. But
Mhm.
I mean, I can understand where some people feel that way. It's, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well. What I mean by never be home, the foreign country is never gonna be home.
Oh, the foreign country,
Yeah.
absolutely. You would
Mhm.
never, ever, ever, ever. Yeah, it won't. Nothing will be America.
Nah.
No. Yeah,
I'm trying to get back to the block. I'm like,
I
damn.
hear it. Straight back.
It's not it. So I mean,
Oh
all right.
man.
So all right, we got a basis going for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring up a scenario here. This is what me and
Mm-hmm.
my brother were arguing about the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get both sides. I truly do. Everybody's gonna stick with their point of view on this, right? Because
Right.
in no sense is anyone really wrong.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's why I don't get mad in these type of arguments and shit like that, because it's like, okay, I can see where you're coming from,
Mm-hmm.
but hear me out.
Right. Right.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about abortion, and then out of the blue, we slipped up on rape, right?
Okay.
Because rape was one of the big he say she say type of thing,
Right.
and it's like, okay, if you were really raped, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I feel like that's one of probably top number one of the reasons why you can get an abortion. Now, hear me out. Trauma, right? There's
Right.
a whole bunch of kids that are being raised who the parents can't really look them in the eye because they're rape babies.
Okay.
They're rape
Right.
babies, right?
Right.
So now it's like, okay, damn, you had the baby, so you might have some type of love for the baby, right?
Right.
But you're not really interacting or having that motherly bond or anything like that
Right.
with it, because they
Uh-huh.
remind you too much of your pain and suffering when you were going through that time.
I get you.
Okay, now that's not everyone. That's just some people.
Yeah.
Now, for the ones that want to go ahead and actually abort,
Right.
that's the ones that are like, okay, this is going to be too painful for me to go through with this baby. I have no connection with pushing this baby out. I can't hold the baby after it's pushed out. I'm gonna feel ashamed of myself for being the one that's like, pushing a baby away and the baby didn't do anything. No
Right.
one ever wants to be put in that position where they're a scumbag
Right.
because of that situation. But it's the
Mm-hmm.
trauma. It's the trauma that they can't go through. Once they hold
Right.
that baby, they look at the baby like, damn, the nigga raped me for you.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my language, but he raped me for you.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's just some people's traumas get in the way of
shit. This ain't getting on YouTube. I'm gonna tell you that. They don't allow that word. Sexually assault.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just gotta be real on these things.
Yeah, that's real.
I mean, it's just it's what it is. It's what it is. This is what people are fighting for. This is what they're fighting for, and it's like, not everyone is wrong, but not everyone's right.
But I mean that even that situation, like, I mean, it is terrible, but it doesn't make abortion right because there are other options.
But no one said it
Even
was
if you
right.
feel like, yeah,
We're just saying that's
definitely
a road that sometimes has to be taken.
yes, but I mean, abortion isn't the road that has to be taken. I mean, that's the easiest way out, of course, but there is the option that she goes through with the pregnancy and then you can have a private adoption. And if you feel bad about giving up the baby, it can be an open end adoption where you can still see the baby, you'll still be able to contact the child. You just won't have parentship over the child.
But even that's still type hard, because if you think about it, private adoptions are like, those are one of the things where, okay, we can do this, but at the same time, you still have to deal with caseworkers and this, that, and the third. And I mean, you could obviously
I mean,
do
no matter
the
what do you do, you're gonna have to deal with some type of paperwork. But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, but it's not really like that. I guess what I'm saying is, it's like, it's just if that was such the easy way to do things, everybody would be going through that
Well,
private
no, it's
adoption type
not.
thing.
It's not the easiest way. It's not the easiest thing to go through because
Uh,
what they're trying to do is avoid the pregnancy altogether.
exactly.
That's what abortion is. When you
Yeah,
have to do a private adoption, the baby actually has to come to term. Like, no, no, no.
that too.
Uh, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I'm just all the way around. I don't believe there's any situation that absolutely calls for
Hmm.
abortion. Like, there's not one.
Hmm.
There is other options.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, hey, listen. No one's really wrong in the situation. I feel like there's other options as well. The only thing that I'm still clinging to is the rate of children being put in foster care. If that was taken care of, I'd feel a little bit more okay with, okay, just put her in foster care, just put her in foster care, But I can't
Hmm.
always recommend that because it's just,
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it really comes down to these. I mean, I know somebody that has had over 8 abortions, and I
Hmm.
know, like, yeah, okay, yeah, y'all just need to use your fucking brains. Like, I,
Yeah.
I, I believe if you already have at least, I mean, really for me, even a single one abortion, but if you have at least 2 abortions on the book, if you become pregnant after this, now that Roe versus Wade is overturned,
Hmm.
they should make you take care of that baby. They should absolutely force you to take care of that baby. Um,
Hmm.
because I mean, literally, you know what the hell happens when you have unprotected sex.
Yeah,
If you
of
don't
course.
want to take care of a fucking baby, wrap that shit the fuck up.
Hmm. That's absolutely right.
Get your
Uh,
tubes
that-
tied.
and we try to tell people this too. We like, you gotta do what you gotta do to stay in the lane that you want to stay in.
Yeah.
Hear this one line right here, right?
Hmm.
They stood by a foster care agency, packed children into overcrowded homes, and sent nearly 200 boys and girls to foster cares that were previously accused of abusing and neglecting the children in their care. So, again, this part right here
Hmm.
is literally always why I'm like,
But again, these are just foster homes. So these children aren't actually these aren't the homes that these aren't supposed to be the permanent homes of these children.
but that's what
This
I'm
comes
saying.
down to the
Those homes
state.
can still break those children.
I mean, very well, yes. But I mean, whether it be a private adoption, whether it be an open adoption, whether it be a an open cell adoption, or
Hmm.
just the state coming in,
Hmm.
if people were more open to adoption, if there was less straints on adoption, there's plenty of people who want children and who don't or just can't have a natural birth.
Yeah,
It's just going through this whole process, all those hoops that they have to go through, it's not worth it.
true,
So I
true.
mean, I believe it's just making adoption more open,
Hmm.
more
No,
accessible. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for.
yeah, that's absolutely right. Hopefully these situations can get a little bit more tied up, and as the years go on, we can see what's going on.
Hmm.
Excuse me, but
Absolutely.
we see the efforts here and there by certain people. It's not everyone, but
Right.
if it makes the headlines, then we can tell that something is being done somewhere,
Hmm.
right? Who was it? Judith Butler, right?
Okay.
On the Roe versus Wade case. Everything does not have to be tied back in with the trans community.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, okay, for whoever's trans out there listening to us today or whatever the
It ain't
acronym is
sad to
for
say,
you,
it's just fucking facts. Like, suck it up.
it is. It's like this has nothing to do with you. You can't have a child. So what does this have to
Yeah.
do with you?
Yes. Public service fucking announcement. Hold on. Let me make sure we is heard and understood here. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only two sexes, and that is male and female. Okay. Thank you.
There it is. My co-host
You
said
can
it.
only identify as male or female. Your verbs can only be him or her. He, her, she.
She.
Shit.
I mean, listen, we don't want to rattle anybody's feathers from listening to us, but just understand
Don't.
something. It's just certain cases just don't apply to you. Okay. As much as
Yes.
you want to be involved, it just, there's no possible way you can sit here and be like, you
It's
know,
not justified by any means. Definitely not
by any
science.
means, you know. Philosopher and gender theorist says the restriction of abortion rights in part of a project to restore patriarchy.
Is that the word they use?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And I sat there and I read it and I'm just like, no.
Yeah, nah,
No.
no. But please continue. What the fuck?
You
Go
know,
ahead.
if that's what we were gonna go on, then it's just I don't feel the same way. And I know this fucking almost I'm gonna give a low number of 70%, even though I know it's more of people think the same way.
Mhm.
It doesn't correlate
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Right? The provision of abortion was one of the great feminist victories of the 20th century. We're talking about Roe versus Wade for people who don't know.
Right.
Um, the rights and all that, including this is probably why they feel like they're a part of this, but it included gay marriage and access to contraption. My fault.
Of course.
Contraception. But
But it's yeah. I'm real. Yeah, that shit's getting ridiculous. Of everything doubling back to either you're racist or you're fucking homophobic,
basically,
or transphobic, and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro, what the fuck? No, no,
Not everything is that way.
not
Not
everything is
everything.
that way.
We're just
Like,
stating facts.
it is. And that's all it is. And even if you don't believe so, it's facts from our life. And just as y'all say, y'all gonna speak y'all truth, motherfucker,
Mhm.
we speaking ours.
And that's where they're trying to figure out what the overturn of Roe versus Wade, what that means for the decisions that were passed back then. And it's like as life goes on, a lot of decisions are going to get overturned.
Yeah, we are a progressive society. That's what we
Mhm.
do. We progress. Like, it may have been susceptible for the times back then, but
Uh,
in the times we're living in, hell no. Let's go.
yeah. Now she says, and this is Judith, so we can quote all of this. She says, "I don't agree with the analysts who lay the blame for the repeal on feminists or trans people or the deceased Supreme Court Justice, blah blah blah." I'm not gonna name his name.
I don't listen to nobody that used that F-bomb now. Fuck 'em. Hell no.
This is what it's about. It's throughout this whole article, it blasts feminists everywhere. Everywhere. Like, does everything have to be about feminists? Like, there are women who aren't feminists.
Yeah. Yes. I know a lot of them. A lot. Yeah. And they sick of
You
this
know,
shit too.
they're
Yeah.
they're tired of this feminist word being thrown around like because they have a man, they're not a feminist. I mean, you can be a feminist even if you have a man, but at the same time, this feminist word being thrown around just makes it look bad on the women that aren't feminists, because it's like you're saying that they're going in the wrong direction of being a woman. And
Yeah. You're basically gaslighting and trying to indoctrinate our society with all the bullshit, and it's getting annoying because, like,
yeah,
yeah, if America falls, man, shit, the world gonna fall.
and it's like we can't really. Here's another one. I think we are witnessing something more serious and dangerous than a backlash. Are we?
What? See, that's how you can tell. All right, so just all in all, just from what you've experienced this far and
Uh-huh.
what you remember from 2016 to 2020,
Mhm.
what administration would you prefer? Trump or
Mm.
Biden?
Okay, if we're going that route right now, I would have to do Trump right now because I'm not a big fan of what Biden's doing. Just putting it out there for people.
You see, that's the issue right there. Yeah, everybody's assuming that because Biden's ratings is so low, they're trying to create another MAGA movement, but they're
Mhm.
calling it an ultra MAGA.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're trying to demonize conservatives at this point,
Hmm.
and with every way they can demonize it, they will. And this
Yeah.
is just another slick shot at conservatives. There we go.
Hmm. It is. It is. Now, this is the last thing I'm probably going to bring up from her because this article is very good. I might link it for you guys to go read in the description on YouTube. This will be posted on the YouTube as well, so you guys can go read up on the article. Um, just spruce yourself up with what she's saying. But this right here, this is a restoration project, right? That has as its final aim the reconstruction of an order that some feel has been dismantled by progressive legislation and new forms of inquiry within educational institutions. Now, this next part is where I kind of like, yeah, not only is patriarchy to be restored, protected
Mhm.
against its dismantling, but white supremacy and exclusively heterosexual marriage. Exclusively.
Exclusively.
Honestly, for people who aren't like, following along and shit like that, um, I know when they start pulling out these big words and start confusing people and shit like that. No,
Yeah.
no. That's the main word. No.
There you
You
go.
know,
Walk the fuck away.
I,
Uh, yeah.
after that, there's nothing else to really read. Um, I mean, there's a bunch to read, but if you want to read the rest, it's LGBTQ community is all thrown throughout the whole damn article.
And I would like to say that we are not knocking the LGBTQ
Not,
A B C D E F G community.
not.
We're just saying that we don't agree with the lifestyle. Well, at least I'm saying I don't agree with the lifestyle, and I don't appreciate all the indoctrinating you're doing in our society these days.
And I'm just gonna say, not everything is about you. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, yes, yes. Sit the fuck down sometimes, please.
Okay, these problems have been long been problems of men and women. Okay,
Yes.
not the
No, no, no,
other.
not men and women, because we don't know what the fuck men and women are these days. It's heterosexual, uh, homosapiens,
Yes.
whatever the fuck that shit is.
Yeah, yeah. We have to
Homo
use
sapiens. There we
specific
go.
scientific words and shit like that now.
Got to define
Um,
titty.
that's sad. Um, Listen, if you guys want us to touch up more on this subject, because this is a big subject,
It is.
this is a big subject. There's not a lot that we can really say. I don't want to make this podcast too long. We've been here for almost 50 minutes now. I do want to keep talking to you guys though. I'm having a good time.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I have a lot for you guys coming up with these new podcasts that we're these new episodes that we're gonna keep dishing out to you guys. It's just gonna get better and better. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
get better and better. Listen, questions and any type of remarks that you guys want to leave it on the YouTube.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
if you do catch one of our live podcasts, go ahead and come over and drop down your questions in the live podcast. We'll shout you out or whatever, read your question, and then we'll go off of that. Um, we're here to stay for a good time and a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For the long haul, we're gonna make
For
it
the
work
long-
somehow.
Yes, sir. Let's just go ahead and I did want to say something about like I guess we can tie a lot of this in today's society is just nowadays when we, I guess, when the parents talk about certain things, um you know, let's talk
Mhm.
about let's go ahead and talk about people prying into other people's lives real quick, right?
Okay.
If we're in a professional environment and we're trying to talk whatever profession we're in, not every has to do with um people's personal lives,
Right. Right.
right? If I'm fucking up at work, right,
Mhm.
then tell me that I'm fucking up about my work.
Right.
Don't start dragging my personal life in it. If I didn't
Mhm.
take the trash out, don't say I bet you didn't take the trash out at home either. Like that has nothing to do with you.
Absolutely.
It has
Overstepping
nothing to do with
boundaries.
you. Now, I watch a lot of sports,
Mhm.
and we see a lot of these sports commentators or casters. They love to bring up things that make no sense.
Mhm.
Watching a UFC fight, and we're watching a good fight. It's a good matchup. Everyone's been waiting for the matchup. Next thing you know, the commentator talks about, oh, these two have legal issues going on with their baby mothers or whatever. That why though? What was the cause of you interjecting that? Because first off, that's a low
Yeah.
blow.
Yeah.
No one needed to
Absolutely.
know that, and now you put him in a certain position where if his loved ones are watching that and shit like that, it kind of looks a little weird.
Mhm. Absolutely.
But I don't know. How do you feel on that? Because we have that in basketball going on. We don't
Mhm.
really have that much in football or soccer, from my knowledge. Not much is going on, but basketball has this steaming to the top.
Yeah. Definitely. I believe, um it's your job to be a sports broadcaster. So
Hmm.
broadcast the sports, and if you do wish to do all that extra commentary,
Hmm.
talk to your TV provider or whatever,
Whoever
whatever the hell
writes the
they call the
scripts.
shit. Yeah, talk to them fuckers about getting your own show, and then
Yeah,
you can do whatever the fuck you want. But
exactly.
as so long as you're in this position doing this job, this is all that's expected of you. All that extra shit, keep it to
Hmm.
yourself. Like, nah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess people in their lives always had that. Even if you're not in like one of those big celebrity time corporations or stuff like that, you're still a human being who works for a company. So you
Hmm.
would think that everything stays at work and doesn't have to drive over to your daily home life and shit like that.
Absolutely.
Um, nah, it travels either way. Either way, they find some way to interject that into your into your work life. It's bad enough that you have people that you have to go like coworkers and stuff like that. It's
Hmm.
bad enough they want to be nosy half the time.
Absolutely.
Then you gotta deal with what you believe the professionals are as your managers. Um, it's not like that either. It's not totally like that. Um,
Like, yeah. Shit is it's I truly believe that it's just like these supposed journalists of the days. Like,
mhm,
you know, there's lines that just don't need to be crossed, and if you find yourself crossing those lines, you need to either forfeit your position or just completely or just truly just
yeah,
find another profession, find
mhm,
something else to report on. Like, there's no need for your personal opinions to be inputted into a fact-based job.
yeah, exactly. Listen, guys. As far as sports goes, not a lot is going on right now. We do know, the seasons are coming back and everything like that. We do have some cross plays going on with different type of leagues and stuff like that, but we don't really report on the leagues.
Mhm.
Um, just the main ones, just the major leagues. Um, we'll be reporting on those on Sundays. Give us the week to get our homework done and stuff like that. But you know, you'll see us tomorrow. The first
Hmm.
episode will be out. Right now it's 8 p.m. So whenever you're watching it today, July 24th, um, go ahead and leave a comment, leave a like, give us some
Absolutely.
questions or topics or themes that you want us to talk about,
Please, please.
um, and then we'll go ahead and do that. But we will be here tomorrow for Murder Mondays. Okay, not gonna miss that one. I got
Absolutely not.
a lot of people were asking me what this was gonna be about and how we were trying to interact with people on this. But I'll give you a little rundown on the subject tomorrow. We're going to be talking about a murder. And basically, what we do is we'll talk about the murder. We'll probably interject a couple of comments here and there. And then after the end of, us talking about it, we're going to have like a discussion, you know? We're going to
Absolutely.
have a discussion about this, and hopefully you guys can join us. Listen, we're on Twitch
Absolutely.
and Twitter. I mean,
We are.
Twitch and YouTube, but we're on Twitter as well. We're on Twitter as well. We're on Facebook too.
There you go.
Okay. We're on Facebook too. Now, the last place we want to stream, we haven't figured it out yet, but you guys will be the first to know. Please follow us on our socials. Okay. Um,
Absolutely. Give us some
before
feedback.
before you guys follow us on our socials, though, right?
Before you do that,
I need you guys to like the video.
you got to do that. Like
I
and
need you
subscribe.
guys
Hit that
to
bell. Get
subscribe.
those notifications.
Okay, because I know you guys liked what we just talked about, right?
Right. And even if you didn't, I'm pretty sure we're going to hit a subject that you will like. And even if we don't, hello, you could have been sent to let us know something.
Exactly. Listen, Mick Poe's on Twitter. Chief RIP. Go ahead and follow him. I'm on Instagram. Chris__Margella. Go ahead and follow me. It's the easiest way to send us your questions, easiest way to engage with us for right now. We will have a personal Twitter and everything for the podcast very soon.
Absolutely.
That way we can make this easier for you guys.
Coming soon. Had fun. Loved it.
Yeah, I like the topic. Those deep topics, it kind of gets me going sometimes because there's just so much you can talk about, and I could like hop right back into it and keep going.
Absolutely. It's wonderful, wonderful. Now I know we're getting ready to get up out of here, but just quick question, right? Do you believe that we need to be stricter on our gun laws?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we do. Too much. There's too much easy access on guns, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not saying
You
take
say
the guns
what?
away from the people.
You say
okay?
what?
I didn't say
You
take the
say
guns
what?
away from the people. Okay, I said there's too much access to our youth. Okay, the youth. Okay, they acquired the ARs and the Diggies and the 50 cals and the yeah. It's too easy for them to get. You shouldn't be in high school being able to
there's
grab a gun
no
and
matter
stuff
what
like that.
system we have in place, there's always going to be something to slip through.
True. True. And that's why I say our youth don't need that easy access. Now, as far as the adults go, you feel me? I feel like everybody should be able to bear arms, I feel like you should be able to protect your family in your house if need be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's only a few children that actually slip through, but I mean, and a lot of those are acquired through private sales. It's not the stores.
True, but there was a few instances where they actually went and grabbed the guns and straight out the store. Just a few instances.
Absolutely.
But I
Not
get
denying
what you're
that.
saying. Also, I feel like there needs to be some type of a checkup on mental health for kids. as well. Just since we're here, if they are having issues in school, I know it's hard to tell who's having the issue,
Yeah.
but these things could be avoided so many times.
Yes. As far as that, I would recommend excuse me, sorry. I would recommend that you all go to standforthesilent.org and
Mm-hmm.
request them to come out to your school,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you live in an area where you know there's a lot of students going through trying times, or you know that there's a high bullying rate at a
Mm-hmm.
specific school. I
Yeah.
recommend you go to standforthesilent.org and that have them come out to the school. It truly, truly will help. Um, yeah, yeah. We're not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. That's just a private plug because I know I've experienced it. I know it
Mm-hmm.
definitely does work.
Just helping the youth out, just however we can. Not everything needs to be paid for, You
That's
guys
real.
check that link out. Back to the convo at hand, though.
Yeah.
um I do think people should be able to protect their families, and if even if you have to, like, you have a license to, like, do, like, what, open carries and stuff like that.
Hmm.
um you know do it and shit like that. I know some people be taking it a little too far. I'm not sure what kind of reaction they're trying to get out of people by doing that,
What's taking it
but
too far? Whatever your
well,
gun is, just your gun.
understandable. But there are some people on YouTube that are looking for reactions. The YouTubers who
Yeah,
carry
I
the
yes, but
rifles.
on the same hand, a law is a law is a law is a law is a law.
Law is a law. I ain't saying it's not the law. I'm just saying you know how to relax,
Yeah, but a lot of those YouTubers know how to relax also. But I mean, they may be pushing it to the
but they
point,
don't.
but
That's the problem.
uh, they
It's
do.
for the views, which I understand it's for the views, but that's the problem too. It's like, not. I don't know. I'm just saying,
I
like,
mean,
sometimes it
personally, if we
just.
was able to open carry, I would be walking out with an AR-15 every fucking day, every fucking where I go. Like,
Listen, then
absolutely.
I would too if this was the apocalypse. But we ain't there just yet.
Look, man, we are there. We're just not. We're not a. Oh well, I can't say that because we on YouTube. Yeah,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
we almost. Yeah.
We almost there. We almost there.
Hmm.
It almost feel like it. Almost feel like it. But
Joe Biden is our president, bro.
Joe Biden is our president. Anything can,
Kamala Harris is our fucking vice president.
and we'll just end it right there.
Yeah.
You guys understand what he's talking about, okay?
What? We have a
So,
trans woman as the White House reporter, bro. Why? Speak
I
whatever the
mean,
fuck, dude.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Listen,
man.
guys, we're rambling. We don't really have much to
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
right now.
that's real. We thank you for joining us here on the Risky Impact Podcast. I've been Chief, your co-host.
This is Mr. King Chris. You can find me on all socials as Mr. King Chris if you want to. On YouTube, you can go ahead and look up Risky Impact Podcast, or you can look at Mr. King Chris on YouTube as well. You can definitely find any channel there for you guys needed. Socials are down below. You guys see the little ticker going by. Go ahead and follow us on socials. Again, Chief is on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Go ahead and hit us up. Let us know what you think. Peace.
Peace to the people.